Right, so hello and welcome back to another 90 Day Fiancé video on Arthur TV. Today we are going back to season 2 to cover one of the most iconic couples in 90 Day history. While I do usually prefer to cover couples from current seasons and kind of review each episode as they come out each week, you never really know which way the story's gonna go, and sometimes it can get a little bit boring. But with the past seasons, we can choose couples like Laura and Aladdin and Jenny and Sumit, where we know the story is a wild ride from start to finish. And on this channel, we absolutely live for that kind of drama. So today, we're starting a brand new mini-series on Danielle and Mohamed, undoubtedly one of the most explosive couples ever to grace the show. First up, we're off to the Midwest of the United States to meet Danielle.
You guys want to make your poster for Mohamed?
I'm correct.
My name is Danielle. I am 41 years old and I'm from Norwalk, Ohio. I am a direct support professional. I take care of mentally handicapped individuals. Not a lot of pay, but I enjoy doing the job.
Danielle has 3 teenage daughters, Faith, Kylie and Brianna, who all live at home with her, as well as an adult son named Corey. Now, Danielle and the father of her 4 children are obviously no longer together. They were initially friends and co-workers who started dating, and then had the 4 children out of wedlock. The pair actually never ended up getting married, and after 22 years together, he left her for one of her friends. Danielle was completely heartbroken by it, and it left her with some pretty severe trust issues, but eventually she decided that it was time to move on.
I first started looking online, not really looking for a relationship, just looking to meet new people. I checked out some chat rooms with people from all over the world, and that's when I met Mohamed. He's from Tunisia, and I like that because he's different from American guys. Most men his age are out partying. Wouldn't even think twice about coming to a woman that has 3 teenage girls.
Unless, of course, they're after a green card. Now, just because Mohamed's from another country doesn't automatically mean that he's only in it for a visa, but the more we find out about their relationship, the more questionable it gets. For example, whilst Danielle is 41, Mohamed is only 26, meaning there's a 15-year age gap between them. Again, we've seen plenty of international couples have genuine relationships despite big age gaps, but it does make you wonder what Mohamed's intentions are. And the biggest red flag of all was this.
4 or 5 months into talking, he proposed marriage. It was through messaging. I was resistant at first, but I knew that I loved him and cared about him. Then I said yes.
It never ceases to amaze me how quickly these people agree to marrying someone who, let's be honest, is still a stranger to them. Thankfully, Danielle at least went to go meet him in person before they jumped straight into the process of getting married. After the proposal, she worked loads of overtime, saved up loads of money, and went to spend 2 weeks with him in Tunisia. Apparently, it went really well, because now, after just 11 months of knowing each other, Mohamed is flying over to the US on a K1 visa. This, of course, means that from the moment he lands, Mohamed has 90 days to marry Danielle, otherwise he has to return to Tunisia. But before he's even arrived, things are already not going to plan.
My fiancé, Mohamed, landed in New York. I paid for his flight and transfers, and he's supposed to arrive in Ohio this morning. But I didn't hear from him since he landed in New York, and I'm getting worried.
When Mohamed finally called Danielle, he didn't have good news. He had landed at JFK Airport and was supposed to be getting a shuttle service to LaGuardia Airport for his flight to Ohio. But there was a problem. It turns out that he hadn't switched his Tunisian money to American dollars, so he was being taken back to JFK Airport. That was the last thing that Danielle heard from him, so she was up all night crying. The morning after, Danielle was supposed to be meeting him at the airport, but she had no way of knowing if he was even on the flight.
I don't know where he's at. I'm afraid he's not gonna get off the airplane when we get up there. Do you want to try to call him?
This person cannot be reached at the moment. Please be leave a message after the tone or call back later.
I can understand that she'd be upset and worried, but I very much doubt he would have done a runner here. I guess he could have just arrived in New York and dipped and lived the rest of his life as an illegal immigrant, but given he's grafted for 11 months, you'd think he'd be able to put up with 3 more to secure legal citizenship, especially if a life in the US was all he was after. But I guess there was no real way of knowing, so with no sign at all of Mohamed, all Danielle could do was show up at the airport and hope Mohamed would be there. Danielle, her 3 daughters, her brother Jamie and his wife Erica turned up at the airport 1 hour after Mohamed was due to land. After frantically searching for a while, they asked a member of staff if Mohamed was on the flight, but due to data protection regulation, he was unable to tell them. With Mohamed's phone still not answering, Danielle was close to giving up when she spotted someone that looked like Mohamed in the distance.
Finally. Stop crying, stop crying.
No, I was so worried.
Stop crying.
I was so worried.
It turns out that Mohamed's phone had just died, and that was why Danielle couldn't contact him. Thankfully though, he was still able to change his money to US dollars and pay for the transfer. Without a charger, he had no way of getting in contact to say he was going to be on the flight. So, like Danielle, he just showed up, hoping she would too. So now it's time for Mohamed to introduce himself.
My name is Mohamed. I am 26 years old. I came from Tunisia to live with my fiancée Danielle. When I saw Danielle, I said, finally, I'm not lost. She's here.
To finally see him here was just overwhelming.
Now, I can't lie, this was actually pretty cute. Mohamed seemed genuinely happy to be there, and although he obviously could have been putting that on, I always feel like we should give the foreign partner the benefit of the doubt, at least until they give us a reason to think otherwise. Danielle is an absolute mess of emotions as always, but she seems really happy too, which is obviously nice to see. I cannot imagine the relief she must have felt after constant worrying and crying for 24 hours straight. Well, with Mohamed now in the US, their 90-day clock begins, and they can finally begin building their life together. But before they get home, I would just like to say a very big thank you to today's sponsor, Manscaped. They are the global brand for men's grooming and hygiene products, and to add to their top-of-the-range precision-engineered tools, they've just released the Lawnmower 4.0. This gorgeous waterproof electric trimmer is included in their new Performance Package 4.0 bundle, an all-in-one kit that contains everything you need to perfect your grooming experience. With this cordless trimmer, you can now mow the lawn in the shower without any mess. It comes with these replaceable ceramic blades with skin-safe technology and an LED light to guide the way. To recharge the trimmer, it's as easy as sticking it back in the wireless charging system, complete with the travel lock feature. Once you're dry, you can then apply the Manscaped Crop Preserver Ball Deodorant. It's a quick absorbing, clear drying moisturizer lotion for all day protection. And if you need a little midday refresher, look no further than the Manscaped Crop Reviver Ball Toner, with cooling aloe vera and anti-inflammatory properties. Their Performance Package 4.0 also includes their brand new Weed Whacker. It's a nose and ear hair trimmer, which if you currently painfully pluck away like I used to, is an absolute game changer. To keep that hygiene routine going, you can even opt in to their Peak Hygiene plan to get ongoing replenishments of these top-of-the-range products delivered straight to your door, hassle-free. Manscaped have very kindly not only sponsored today's video, but are also offering 20% off, free international shipping, and for a limited time only, 2 free gifts. These anti-chafing boxer briefs and the Shed Luxury Travel Bag, all of which you can get by using the code ArthurTV at manscaped.com. So, what are you waiting for? Join the Manscaped movement today. Your balls and anyone lucky enough to go near them will thank you for it. Alright, now let's get back to the video.
I like Danielle because she's honest. She's caring about me a lot. If we talk about physically relationship, sure, I think about it, and Daniel is acceptable for me.
Hopefully just a slight mistranslation on that one, because otherwise he seems quite happy with her. Although, being realistic, maybe that is what he meant. I mean, I don't think I'm being unfair when I say that he's out of her league looks-wise, so maybe he's just being completely honest. I mean, I'm guessing the producers said something to provoke that answer, so if they brought up her looks, that's actually kind of a reasonable answer. However, if he isn't attracted to her, this next part is going to make a whole lot more sense.
Because of your religion and stuff.
Yeah.
When we're both here, you'll have to sleep on the couch. Because he's a Muslim, Mohammed decided that we're not having sex or being intimate until we're married.
We need to hurry up and to get married.
Yes.
Hurry up so that they can finally be intimate together, or hurry up so that he can get his green card and go? He seems like he's in a bit of a rush with it all, like proposing after 4 months and now instantly counting down the 90 days. But I guess we can't really say for sure what his motives are, so again, I feel like we should give him the benefit of the doubt here. I think one thing that was quite telling for me was Danielle's daughter's reaction to his arrival. Before he got there, they were asking things like, "We don't have to call him dad, do we?" and being like, "Nothing's gonna change, is it?" But after his arrival, they seemed to be really happy with him. They admitted that they weren't sure at the start, but after the way they saw him looking after their mum, they said that they started to feel really safe and comfortable with him around. So with their approval, the last child to win over was Danielle's son Corey. They met at a pub, and after a casual game of pool, the pair went outside for a chat, where Corey voiced his concerns about the relationship.
So I'm gonna be completely honest.
Okay.
I'm very, very worried that you're gonna end up scamming my mom. I just had a really bad feeling you're using her just to get here to the country, just to the visa.
I wonder if he's wearing that t-shirt to subconsciously appear more threatening. To be fair, his concerns are obviously valid, and being the eldest son, he's obviously going to be the most protective over his mum. So I don't really feel like he crossed the line saying any of this. Also, if Mohammed does end up scamming Danielle and taking half her stuff, that's going to have a really big impact on his 3 younger sisters, because they're all still financially dependent on Danielle. So he's kind of looking out for them too here. I'm kind of glad he asked anyway, just because I'm curious how Mohammed's going to respond.
I'm not here for what you're talking about, because as you know, I gave up a lot. I left my family, I left my friends, I left my job. I'm with Danielle just because I want to be with her, nothing else. I will do my best to have a good life for me and for your mom and your sisters.
I'm not really sure how convinced he's going to be after that answer. The fact that he gave up a lot of things to move to the US just means that he really wanted to do it. Doesn't really say anything about his intentions. Like, he could equally have risked all of those things just because he wanted the visa. If anything, it might even make him question it further. Giving up everything for someone you've only been speaking to for a few months is kind of odd, whereas leaving everything behind in pursuit of a better life is arguably a lot more reasonable. Unfortunately for Mohammed, Corey isn't the only one with reservations about their relationship. Danielle's brother-in-law Paul also wants to meet Mohammed, so they've all decided to go out for a nice big family dinner. And this is where Mohammed experiences his first real hit of culture shock.
What kind of meat? Chicken, steak?
I have a problem with the meat.
You what?
I don't eat meat.
You don't eat meat? That's fine. We can do a veggie burger too.
Okay.
Whatever kind of burger you would like, you just go through and.
This one is fine.
This one's fine?
Yeah.
We'll do without the bacon, obviously.
What? No bacon? You don't like... What?
I don't know why, but this is exactly how I imagine Seth Rogen reacting to someone who says that they never smoke weed.
What? No bacon? You don't like... What?
I just find it so funny how he just can't possibly fathom the idea of someone not eating bacon. I mean, I get that it's delicious, but surely this isn't something he's just never come across before. The whole table seems quite curious, so Mohammed explains to them that because he's Muslim, he can only eat halal meat, and gives a simplified description of how the meat has to be prepared for it to be considered permissible.
It's like in the name of God, you have to say that.
Yeah.
before you kill it.
I do that every time I go in the woods to hunt a deer. Would you ever want to try hunting?
Yeah, I want to learn everything. Because everything is new for me.
Have you ever shot a gun?
No, never. We don't, it's not allowed there.
You drink beer?
Sometimes.
You know what moonshine is?
No.
Oh, buddy. We got something good in store for you.
As if the whole conversation couldn't be more American, they go from talking about burgers and bacon to shooting guns, hunting, drinking beer, and even moonshine. There were times in this conversation where I thought things might get a little bit heated because they were quite sensitive topics, but I think Mohamed seemed quite open to getting to know American culture, and Paul in return seemed very welcoming. Although I don't really think Mohamed's won him over just yet.
I was coming to dinner tonight to meet Danielle's fiancé. Right now, I'm still skeptical. Did he come here to get a visa or, and just marry her and leave her? Over the next 90 days, I'm gonna be watching him like a hawk.
You know, it's so nice to see a family being skeptical but still giving the foreign partner a chance for once. So many times we've seen someone come across to the US and instantly be treated with hostility, and it's always so horrible to watch. I think it would have been really easy to judge Paul too quickly and expect that from him, so I think he deserves credit here. Well, with all the introductions done, it was now time for the wedding preparations to get underway. Danielle went with her 3 daughters to go look for a wedding dress, leaving Mohamed home alone. With no job and no friends, Mohamed didn't really have much to do, so he decided to go for a walk around the neighborhood. Whilst he was out, he ended up meeting a group of friends playing American football, and they invited him to join them. They actually ended up all getting on really well, and they invited him to the pub after the game, and there they started talking about the cultural differences between America and Tunisia.
Everyone has looser morals. There's a lot of hooking up that goes on.
What does mean hooking up?
Basically, here you can meet a girl the first night and you can pretty much get it in with her.
In my country, we can't do that.
Yeah, it's pretty common around here.
So common, in fact, that just as they were saying it, they were interrupted by 2 women. Now, I don't know if this was a particularly promiscuous area, or they just got lucky, or the producers set this up, but the girls who came over were pretty much exactly how you'd expect 2 women who made the first move in a pub in the middle of the day to be. And one in particular had her eye on Mohamed.
Hi. What brings you guys out here?
I'm Tate.
Alicia.
I'm Mohamed.
So what brings you guys out here?
I came here for my fiancé. Yeah.
Where is she at?
She's working now.
So you're here to what, have a good time? I've been here all my life, but I always like to pick up the new guys that I don't, that I've seen.
Want to play pool?
See, she's not messing around, is she? This is a pretty perfect test for Mohamed, because without Danielle around, he could so easily have a little flirt back, and with her coming on that strong, who knows what could happen. I guess he's probably not stupid enough to do it in front of the cameras, but it's still a good test to see how he reacts to someone showing interest. They all went to play pool together and Mohamed paired up with one of the guys, but the blonde lady insisted that she be partnered with Mohamed, so he politely agreed. Her strong efforts, however, didn't seem like they were getting her anywhere with him.
I'm trying to ignoring her because I don't know how to do with this kind of people.
You should come here more often.
Yes, I.
You know why?
Why?
Why? Because I can guarantee you're gonna have a lot of fun if you come here.
Okay.
I actually can't believe she's being this openly flirtatious with the guy who's engaged on national TV. Like, have some shame. It's so awkward too, I don't know if she just thinks he's shy or she's enjoying the chase and sees it as a challenge, but she's really not taking the hint, is she? The only holes he's interested in are the pockets of the pool table. Leave him alone, lady.
She tried to touch my body, and it's the first time it happened to me. In my country, even the girl like the guy, and she started talking and say like that, I like you, or no, it will never happen.
You know, given he's never experienced a woman being this forward with him before, he's handled it really well, hasn't he? It would have been so easy for him to get all flustered from this attention he's getting, but he just couldn't seem less interested. She probably would have had a better chance just being nice to him. I feel like culturally he just thinks this is absolute degenerate behaviour. Bless him for still trying to be polite about it all, but she is making him so uncomfortable.
Nice shot.
Nice shot.
Beautiful.
I didn't like it, and Danielle is not like that. It makes me feel good, and I'm happy for that, because she's not one of them. And
Hey, pretty boys, can I follow you?
How you doing?
Quit. You can't quit.
As if he just had enough of her reprobate behaviour and just left. Nothing against her promiscuity personally, of course. It's her flirting with a clearly uncomfortable man that's engaged that I disapprove of. So far there have been a few red flags, but Mohamed seems like a really nice guy, and he's passed his first test with flying colours. Danielle might be older, have some baggage, and potentially offer a path to a better life. But for now, I guess we're just gonna have to wait and see if Mohamed's true intentions reveal themselves, because that is unfortunately all we have time for today. We now have the foundations upon which this crazy story was built, so if you want to make sure you don't miss this dramatic spectacle unfold, make sure you're subscribed down below so you don't miss out. As always, the links to my Instagram, Twitter and other social media will be down below, so feel free to come drop me a follow to keep up with the channel, help me decide what future videos to make, or just say hi in between uploads. I'd also just like to give a very quick shout out to my Patreon supporters who support me and the channel over on Patreon. Thank you for watching, and hopefully I'll see you on the next one. Bye for now.